I have stage 3 rare appendix cancer, and it's aggressive. I want to talk about passing away. I want to talk about something that I think a lot of people don't want to talk to me about, and I've been able to glean that for some people, and I think I would be in this camp in a great many ways, talking about the possibility that this might not end the way we want is very uncomfortable. But for me personally, since being diagnosed in mid-December with my 1 in a million appendix cancer, I have often felt better and somehow more peaceful, more calm, discussing what's beyond this physical space that we're all in now. The idea of addressing the elephant in the room is very soothing to me, all but for sure scary. I don't know if other cancer patients who are in my shoes have experienced this, but there are some people that are in my close-knit circle, you could say, that really can't handle me talking about not winning this battle. People are telling me to be positive and not to worry, and saying really nice, uplifting things like, you're young, you're healthy, you're going to beat this. And I want to. And I feel myself gravitating towards that attitude and wanting to agree. But being the patient, being the person currently with the cancer, something about going at this whole journey with cancer in a way that doesn't directly address the possibility of not surviving feels inauthentic, and it feels wrong, and it feels overwhelming. And I just want to say that out loud. I want to win, but I don't think it helps me feel less stressed to be told, oh, don't worry, you're not going to pass, you've got this, as like the end stop of our conversations. And I don't think telling someone with cancer not to stress because stress is bad for cancer is good for stress for the person with cancer. I think these are all things that I'm meant to explore, and I wonder, quite frankly, if any of you feel the same or think similarly when it comes to being realistic, maintaining positivity and hope, which I do have, and I especially have since implementing some of my protocols already. For sure, that's what I want, and I hope that's what's meant for me. But I also have this deep, deep yearning to process passing away and to not shy away from that conversation, and to have a chance to look at my life and think about what's left of it with the whole perspective of taking it one day at a time, because nothing is promised, but not with the idea that I'll just pretend that might not happen, because I don't think that will better prepare me to transition gracefully. And I just think it's important that those of us who have potential death looming, that we be given space to have these conversations. For what it's worth, I am not you. I am not the family member. I'm not the spouse. I'm not the parent or the sibling or the best friend. So I'm not suggesting that I know what you should or shouldn't do for someone in my position. I do think, though, that as a general consensus for me, it is important to have these hard conversations and to not shy away from them in the spirit of endless optimism, because I almost think it trivializes the stress that we as cancer patients with an uncertain outcome are experiencing, and maybe minimizes what we are going through. And I'll speak for myself, what I'm going through. And so what I'm trying to empower myself to do is to advocate these conversations carefully and respectfully to anyone who is open or interested or willing to gently explore it, in the hopes of finding peace about the whole thing, with the understanding that, yes, all of us have to eventually cross that bridge. And I just want to do so bravely and calmly and thoughtfully and with as much dignity as I can. And I feel myself wanting to almost cry over this conversation because it still deeply scares me, and perhaps that speaks to the newness of my ever evolving faith. People with really, really strong senses of faith, they have a very soothing way about speaking of passing away, because we are going to a better place, a far more eternal, loving, wonderful place. And I like that. It comforts me more than I could possibly express. In the wee hours of the night, when I imagine my cancer winning, or wonder if I'll still be here in a couple of years, and think about the things that I'll be missing out on, I remember that God is bigger than all of this. And even if I don't understand, I feel it deep in my soul. I feel it deep inside myself that there's more, and that I ought not be afraid, and I should live joyfully. But I suppose the final message of this video, if you're inclined to agree, is that let's give space to the people who have cancer, if we can, to process their fears and their stresses, and to acknowledge the elephant in the room being that it could be a fatal proposition, but it doesn't have to be a spiritually fatal one, and that it's okay to go ahead and mourn the life you may not live, while still, I think, simultaneously not getting lost in needless despair and grief over an outcome that we don't yet know how it will turn out. And I also, to end this respectfully, want to work hard to be as understanding and kind and respectful of the family members, of my brothers and my sisters and my spouse, my parents and my friends, because you shouldn't have to take on these conversations if you don't want to. And I don't always want to talk about it, but sometimes it feels good not to be the only one thinking about it alone, as scary as that might be for others. So if you're going through cancer, man, I'm rooting for you and I'm praying for you. And if you love someone who has cancer, I'm rooting for you and praying for you too. My only experience with this type of thing in a way that's relatable to me, having never done this part before, being someone with a cancer diagnosis, is that it's so important for the people who love the patient, which I'm tired of being, but that's the cards. Those are the cards I was dealt. The best thing they can do is take care of themselves. So if you love someone who's not well, love yourself and take good care of yourself. I think that's the idea. And Lord knows right now I need to do everything I can to take as good a care of myself as possible so that I can have a good outcome. And I'm trying, and I'm fighting so hard, and I'm praying every single day for discipline. And I'm thankful for all the love and support. And I'm thankful for all the financial aid and the opportunities I have to have a really, really fortunate fair shot at being a cancer survivor, and then, God willing, a cancer advocate. So these are my thoughts for today. I just wanted to get that off my heart, because anything I bounce around too much in my head starts to hurt. And there are certain people on my team who have spent a wild amount of time with me, and I don't always want to unload on them. And I think I have a really resilient, strong, beautiful, and passionate community here on YouTube that can handle these sort of conversations. So thank you for letting me share. Please share your thoughts about any of this in the comments below. Prayer warriors, please continue to pray for me if you're willing. I'll continue to do the same. And keep sharing your thoughts, testimonies, information, wisdom, and kindness if you can. It means a lot. Treatment is about to begin, the real stuff. And I want to be brave, and I want to stay strong. I'll see you guys in the next video.